Oh, all right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the stream. We've been waiting a while. We've had all sorts of technical difficulties, which, of course, we never had before now. But here we are. So, we carry on. Welcome to the show. We got San Francisco Giants baseball. Game 2 of the season. Of course, they're in the bottom of the first right now, one out. And Max Muncy just homered off of Tyler Anderson, who, I'll be honest, didn't really expect to see him starting a whole lot of games coming out of the spring, the extended spring, if you will. But yet here he is. So we got Justin Turner at the plate, currently a 1-1 count. I'm watching on MLB TV, so it's a little bit on the delayed side. But here we are. So Nick is supposed to be with me. He's having internet issues. Comcast in the San Francisco Bay Area not working so great at the moment. So we don't really blame him a whole lot for that. Anderson not throwing a whole lot of strikes to Justin Turner here, and I can't say I blame him. So lots to talk about. San Francisco Giants definitely starting the season sort of oddly in that a lot of surprise roster selections. $16 pitchers on the staff currently. That's a whole heck of a lot of guys. And if you watched the game last night, opening night against the Dodgers on ESPN, you probably noticed that you haven't heard of a whole lot of these guys before, and that's definitely a problem we had watching the game. Every time somebody came out of the bullpen, it's like, who's this guy? Not familiar faces for the most part. Justin Turner was walked just after Muncy homered, which I don't know, with one out and Bellinger coming out, it's a good chance you're going to see some sort of a rally. Now, let's be honest, this Dodger lineup is just scary, and the fact that the Giants are going to have to play them as many times as they are in this shortened season is kind of is also scary. It's really nice to have baseball back, though. It's been a whole heck of a long time. It's what, about 9 months since the last time we saw the Giants play baseball. September, I believe it was. So yeah, nine plus months, and of course a really long spring. Baseball starting in July. It's hot. It's longer days, so plenty of sunlight out there, as you can already see it in Los Angeles right now. It's coming up on 7 p.m. and it is just still quite bright out there. 2 straight walks now for Anderson, which is fantastic. I love how they're just pausing the camera there on the shot of his rear end. So the walk was definitely an issue for the Giants last night in the later innings. So the bullpen was not able to keep runners off the bases. But there was definitely some questionable calls by umpires, that's for sure. Some really, really nice curveballs that were dropping just to the bottom of the zone, which clipped they showed it even on ESPN several times. These pitches clipping the strike zone consistently, but not being called strikes. I mean, the strike zone just disappeared in the later innings, which didn't help them at all. Kike Hernandez up, who did quite a nice job of driving some runs in last night. What was he, 4 for 5 last night? I think he was. Yeah, 4 for 5 with a homer, 5 RBIs. He hit a grand slam at one point, didn't he? I think his home run was a grand slam. So that happened. Still hoping to get Nick up here eventually. Hopefully he gets these internet service issues fixed. I'm also having technical issues on my end, which is just really compounds things even more. We've got problems getting Skype up, so I'm not sure if I could even really connected him here anyway. You know, the circle's just spinning and spinning and spinning on Skype. It's not loading at all. Don't know what that's all about. All right, so Bellinger flies out to center field. Nice to see Yastrzemski out there. I feel like we didn't see Yastrzemski in center field a whole lot last season, and that's definitely seems to have been a place they want him to play. I mean, they don't have center fielders, and Duggar not getting selected to the opening day roster was kind of one of those surprises that we talked about. It's like it became pretty obvious then that there was not going to be a real center fielder, like a bona fide center fielder in this lineup. At least not someone that has a lot of experience at the major league level playing center field. Crawford stopping the ball on the infield, and I'll be honest, he is not. He's looking like he's not quite ready for the beginning of the season. He did not look great last night. In the field, he looked all right. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of real opportunities to play the ball, but this time he having trouble gloving the ball, which he got it right in the heel of the glove, as you can see on the replay. And then the transfer scoops it up with the glove to hand, which try not to do that as much as possible. But he was lifted in the seventh inning. Top of the seventh inning, you pinch hit for Brandon Crawford. I can't say that I remember that ever happening before. And that was something that I was texting with a friend of mine back and forth last night. I was quite surprised that Brandon Crawford was being taken out in the late innings of a game. Usually it's the opposite. If somebody else starts for Crawford, he's put in the late innings as the defensive substitution. But I don't know. Well, I don't know what the statement is, but the statement seems to be your bat stinks and your defense be damned. So we'll see how that develops throughout the season. That was a nice corner strike there for Anderson. 1-1 to Taylor. It's just monster batter after monster batter here on this Dodgers lineup. It's pretty crazy how many guys that can absolutely devastate your pitching they have in their lineup. Anderson obviously trying to pitch him inside a little bit here. The Skype circle just spins and spins. I don't know what that's all about. I can get it up on the iPad, but that's not much of a help tonight, is it? Oh, got a little under that one, but he definitely got some good contact on it. Joe McCarthy, left fielder. The Giants survived the first after giving up one run on the Max Muncy homer. So that's how that starts. 2 hits given up. Giants got a hit of their own in the first. So anyway, we'll talk more about this lineup that the Giants have tonight. Yastrzemski, Flores, Sandoval, Dickerson, McCarthy, Dubon, Crawford, Davis, Jalen Davis, and then Brantley behind the dish tonight catching. Not something we're used to seeing. Like, we've got two catchers that the Giants have. They've never played for the Giants before, I should say. Don't have really hardly any big league experience. And yet last night, one of the star players, I mean, one of the better hitters of the game was the Giants catcher. And I mean, there was some definite bright spots in the lineup last night, including, of course, as I bring up the box score here just to make sure I get my stats right. Yastrzemski 2 for 4, had some solid line drives hitting. Alex Dickerson, both hits to the left side of the infield, low left side of the infield against the shift. That's, I mean, guys going the other way from day one. That's got to be a good sign. And he definitely showed in the two inter squad games that he's able to drive the ball quite a bit. And so that was good. Yastrzemski and Dickerson were solid in those inter squad games. I want to say inter squad games, and did the same yesterday in the opener. Heineman, Chris Heineman, the catcher, was, Tyler Heineman. Gonna have to get used to these names. I'm sure by midway through this short season, we'll have them all down. Tyler Heineman was solid last night, 2 for 3. So not so strong last night. Wilmer Flores, the third baseman, dude was hacking. Dude was taking called strikes in some tough scenarios where you really don't want to be taking strike 3. Runners on base, you don't even get a swing off. Not great. Sandoval 1 for 3, drove in the only run on a sacrifice fly with the bases loaded and nobody out. The only Giants run, a sacrifice fly, and they could not move the runners up after that. It was typical Giants offense from what we've seen the last couple of seasons. Opportunities, they got runners on base, sort of. Nobody walked. They cannot take a walk. At least they didn't last night, and they didn't get key hits from the key players in the lineup. Pence 0 for 4, 1 strikeout. Joe McCarthy 0 for 4. He's the guy that's up right now, incidentally. We'll see how he does. 2-2 count now to him. But Joe McCarthy, a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of major league experience. Obviously, he's new to the Giants this year, acquired in a trade, and it's just kind of a wait and see, like it is so many of these guys. Fouling some balls off. And Kruko talking about him right now. Pardon me while I vamp here, trying to see if we ever get any of these technical issues figured out. Skype's just being dumb. Easy ground out to Muncy. Cutouts, everybody. Cutouts. Mauricio Dubon. That's kind of, we were going down the list of players who were in the lineup last night. Dubon, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Was not impressive with the bat. He looked like he was new. Let's just say that. So hopefully he gets more of a rhythm going at the plate. First game, and not everybody's going to be super sharp. They didn't get a ton of game scenarios coming into the season. It's really hard to be on in terms of your swing. So we can excuse that a bit. But as games go on, we're going to expect to see more. And that the Giants can't really afford to have a slow start this season. They've got to get these bats going. 2-1 now to Dubon. Whoa. I love these cutouts that they're showing. Now, I'm pretty sure they probably already mentioned it, but again, we joined kind of late. The Giants announcers, I'm pretty sure, are at Oracle Park right now. I know they're not in Los Angeles. They're talking about it right now too. But yeah, they're both socially distancing in two separate booths that are right next to each other. They can probably see each other through some glass, I imagine. But so they're at the stadium in San Francisco, broadcasting the game in Los Angeles, which is a heck of a lot better than last night's game. If you watched last night's game on ESPN, that was a hot mess. Those announcers were clearly in some sort of home studios or something of their own, not anywhere near each other. There was all sorts of delays, and in terms of audio and everything, you could tell there's those long awkward pauses anytime someone would talk or they'd talk to each other. And that's just not a good product. It's really not a good product, especially for opening day. You don't want that to be the product that you're putting out. Brandon Crawford. Let's see if he gets lifted early tonight. 0 for 2 yesterday. This guy's really got to have a good season. I mean, he's pretty much the veteran presence in the lineup right now. The only one in terms of Giants veterans. Last year hit 228. That was not what we expected after the 2018 he had. And they really are going to need him to do better than 228. But three pitch strikeout right there, so we'll see if that happens. 254 he hit the season before, but 14 home runs, 54 RBIs, 77 RBIs. It's really the 2015 season, I think, is really the one that they'd like to see him duplicate. But I'm not sure if that's really realistic. Also, the 2016 season, 275 hitter, that was the one that got him the money. That was the big extension season, I believe, for him. 84 RBIs, 2 years in a row. And last season, just 59. The team wasn't great last year, but wow. So not a lot of life in the Giants offense in the top of the second. I have a feeling we may say that quite a few times. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about the Giants team that we have and what we're kind of expecting from the season. I think the team this year is obviously in a rebuilding phase, and it's the most painful part of the rebuilding phase. It's the beginning of the rebuilding phase. And we saw the foundation kind of being laid for it last season, and that a lot of players in and out, especially, I mean, they talked about it on the broadcast last night. It's been 13 seasons in a row now that the San Francisco Giants have started a different left fielder on opening day. 13 years of different every year. There's never been the same one twice. So that is indicative of where the Giants have been in terms of their outfield for years. Center field has been a revolving door. Right field was pretty solid for a while with Hunter Pence, but then his production fell off and didn't get re-signed with the Giants. Ended up playing last season with Texas, had a resurgent season. Of course he did. And now he's back with the Giants. And so that's nice to see, but we need to see somebody really nailing down the outfield positions. Yastrzemski, if he has the season, anything like the season he had last year, will be a mainstay in this lineup somewhere in the outfield. I don't know if center field is going to be his everyday spot. Duggar, I don't think, is a starting center fielder in the majors yet. His bat is just horrendous, and all the injuries that he's had with base running and diving for balls in the outfield. The guy, his shoulders, it probably doesn't take much to pop those things out of their sockets at this point. But he hasn't really shown that he's ready to be a starter in the majors. And Jack, look at that, Peterson, just like that, finding his way on base. And now we'll get Will Smith up. Not that Will Smith or that Will Smith. Coming up the catcher. So not the actor, not the former Giants reliever, who's now with the Atlanta Braves. But he's playing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as his walk-up song. Of course he does. What was that on the back of Peterson's neck there? Looks like he's in the Matrix or something. There we go. Anderson out of the stretch early in the second inning. Was in it most of the first inning. Peterson's had some injury issues as well, the runner at first base right now. So not a running threat, however. Last year, in 450 at-bats, only one stolen base. So they won't have to worry too much about that, we hope. Yet they're still trying to keep him close. The lineup about to turn over, and Mookie Betts coming up next. They would love to have Peterson at second base, I'm sure, with nobody out. Maybe one out if they are able to move him over. I'm sure they're hoping to get just 4 innings, maybe 5 out of Anderson. I thought Johnny Cueto last night, a fantastic 4 innings. Only gave up 1 run. His first start in, gosh, I can't remember how long after Tommy John surgery. So no harm done pop up. So anyway, we're talking about the outfield again. Jalen Davis in right field tonight. I'm not sure if we're going to see him there. I mean, I know he can play some center field also, so it's a bit. The guy has some wheels. I know that. But Yastrzemski's in center, so they seem to really want to play Yastrzemski in center field. I know in the minors he played a lot of time in center field, so we will probably see that quite a bit, and I'm fine with that. I mean, they haven't had anybody else in center field of recent that could really consistently be counted on a daily basis, and Yastrzemski is definitely that guy. Quick out there for the second out. Mookie Betts 0 for 2. I will not be sad to see a guy getting paid $35 million a season just consistently getting out. Only 1 for 5 last night, struck out twice, so Giants did a great job with him. And he was on base a couple times. Oh, that was not a strike last night. The first pitch of that at bat, right at the bottom of the strike zone. They couldn't buy that strike last night. That was a big problem, especially in the later innings for the Giants bullpen. I think it was Jimenez that was having all sorts of trouble. Ended up walking 3 batters and giving up the was it Rogers? Rogers gave up the grand slam. Jimenez, I mean, to his credit, came in with a ton of guys on, had a ton of runs that already scored. The momentum was the it was all tilted towards the Dodgers momentum wise anyway. It was a rough assignment. Gave up a hit, walked 3, and got an out. So be a strikeout. So he showed he's got that live fastball, maybe a little nerve wrack, a little bit of nerves in there. First game of the season, a Rule 5 draft pick, trying to get the stick with some team, which is not easy. But yeah, didn't get much help from the umpires in that 7th inning last night. Muncy, who's got the home run, 3-1 to him. Anderson seems to be pitching around guys, and that, the ball 4 pitch, not even close. He's pitching around, but this is the problem with the Dodgers. Sorry, I said Mookie Betts got out. Barnes was the last guy. I'm looking at last night's lineup. You walk Muncy, then who do you face after that? Justin Turner. So it's a rough lineup. All right. Well, so Tyler Henderson throws 38 pitches and is taken out of the game. I guess that's how things are going to work in this shortened season. Like I said, all 4 of those balls low and or outside, definitely all kind of outside, and it's obvious where he was trying to pitch to, just low and away, and mostly fastballs, 2 cutters and a 4-seam according to MLB.com, and then a curveball. But I don't know. He was clearly pitching around him, and it got him lifted from the game. So Justin Turner will face Rico Garcia when the game gets up and going again. And these are the times where we kind of fill in the commercials a little bit. So thoughts on the Giants? Where do we go with this team is the real question. What are the expectations? They've got to be tempered. You have to have tempered expectations for this team because there's not a whole lot of bona fide big leaguers on this roster. Johnny Cueto, sure. Jeff Samardzija, sure. The results have been up and down with him over the last few years. Injuries, but we kind of knew that when the Giants got him coming in, it was going to be up and down. He didn't have a solid track record. The guy pitched 8 up innings. He had a couple of good ERA years, but real mixed results. And it's kind of been the same story. He'll pitch a bunch of innings when he's healthy, and sometimes he'll get a good streak of starts going, and he'll be like, man, this guy is a stud. But we know better because there's the times when he's not. Aside from that, who else do the Giants have that's a real that you look at right now in this lineup? It's like, wow, that is an everyday big leaguer. I don't know. Justin Turner, first pitch, liner to left, and Peterson scores, and here we go with the Giants bullpen. Kind of picking up right where they left off last night, just coming in and giving up some solid contact, and the Dodgers are jumping on stuff. Fastball right down the middle. And game day kind of shows that. MLB Game Day, so I'm kind of following along with that as I watch the game. This guy throws mid-90s. I mean, you saw 95 on that last pitch. Rico Garcia, who threw an inning last night, I think, didn't he? Yeah, threw a solid inning. No run, nothing given up last night. One hit given up last night, but that's fine. Get through an inning, one hit given up, no harm, no foul. Smiley looked solid in his inning of relief. Whew, that was a fat pitch also, but hit near somebody at least in that case. Nice job of Jalen Davis tracking that one down. And Giants are down by 2 now, 2-0. It'll go into the third. So 2 innings in the books, 2 runs given up by the Giants pitching. Both of them charged today to Tyler Anderson. And we'll see just how many pitchers they have to throw out there tonight. Rico Garcia, the new rules, does not have to come out and start the third inning. He's only faced 1 batter, but not 2 batters, sorry. But will not have to pitch a third because the end of the inning came up. So it's either 3 batters you have to face or pitch until the end of the inning. And then if he came out for the third inning, you would only have to face 1 batter, and then they could lift him because that would be the 3rd batter that he's faced. That makes sense. New rules. We're going to have to get used to these new rules, and it's kind of strange. I don't know how I feel about these rules. I understand what the point of them is. We're trying to limit mound visits and stuff, the stuff that just slows the games down insanely. And the Giants do it just as much as anybody. You had a lot of times they got the left. They've become big fans of the left-handed specialist pitchers the last decade. I mean, gosh, Javier Lopez was a perfect example of that from the World Series runs. And Affelt was a little bit like that later in his career, but he was able to pitch against righties for the most of it. But so they won't see a whole lot of left-handed specialists anymore. And it's interesting. It's a interesting change, but it kind of just, I don't know. I don't think that's the most organic change they could have made. They're going to try everything they can to try to keep the pace of play up, to try to get these games done faster, not let them last as long. And if there's anything that is evidence of that, it's the extra innings rules that they're implementing this season, where as soon as you go into extra innings, there's a runner on second. And every inning starts with a runner at second base. So it's an interesting way to do it. I thought they should have I was thinking that they would have implemented this a while ago. But other sports, namely hockey, has made massive changes to the way that the overtime periods and everything are played. It used to be they kept going until someone scored or there was a tie. Eventually there were ties. And then they decided to go to the 4-on-4 format, then ended in a shootout. Then now it's 3-on-3, ended in a shootout. And it makes sense. It gets it done quick. It's still exciting, but it's not like raw. It's not pure hockey. It's kind of gimmicky. And I feel like the extra innings format that they're putting in now is a little gimmicky. It's not like you're taking players off the field necessarily. You're putting a guy at second base. You're putting the team in a spot where it's easier to score runs, hopefully getting the game. The Giants, you put a runner at second base with nobody out. Heck, they had the bases loaded with nobody out last night, and they weren't able to do anything with it. Oh, look at that. Jalen Davis. First at bat of the game. Solo home run. That's exactly what they want from him. He's a young. I say he's a young guy. Let me say a little something about Jalen Davis. Jalen Davis, born in 1994. Okay, so he turned 26 this month. The Giants are very high on this guy, and you can see why. I mean, he's got speed. Ran down that ball in the last out there in the bottom of the second inning in right field, and he's got some pop. So the Giants are going to need guys like this. This is one of the guys that you probably don't recognize him. He wears 49, number 49 for crying out loud. That's not an everyday big league tenured player number. But and Brantley, a little soft ground out to second/short there. But all right. I mean, this guy might be somebody that we see around for a while. They're hoping he is. He was a very high prospect in their system. So anyway, there was something I was going to say about him. Jalen Davis, born Greensboro, North Carolina. That's at least what it says here on the Giants website. Greensboro, North Carolina. I happen to live in Greensboro, North Carolina. So that is pretty cool. A local boy. And now Yastrzemski. Now this is the guy. If we're going to do a whole lot of these shows this season, which was what we're planning on doing, there's going to have to be threads that kind of tie it to make it worth it. Wow. He's got a lot of high and low end of the strike zone. There's got to be things that we look forward to in watching these games every day. And I mean, I watch all the games, whether we live stream them or not. I'm watching. Mike Yastrzemski is somebody that'll bring me to the yard, so to speak. Waiting for game day to update with the location of that third pitch. If you're watching live in the Bay Area, I'm probably way behind what you're looking at right now. And MLB TV has a delay built into it that I can't fix. So, and then you're also seeing me stream through YouTube, which there's a delay there as well. So I'm probably a little on the late side. 2 for 4 last night, 2 singles. "15 players last night made their first appearance on an opening day roster. Good for them. Kind of scary. There are some umpires will call that last pitch a strike. 3-2 though. Couple generous strikes and he's got a full count. So Yastrzemski is a guy who can do things with a full count. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Or swing at nasty curveballs with 2 strikes. Look at this thing. Oh, it's just a straight changeup. Nice pitch. Only about a speed difference of about 7 miles per hour, but that's enough. That's enough in the big leagues these days. Wilmer Flores, who had opportunities last night with runners on base and just did not come through. Nice to see him lead off this. Nice to see him get a hit in his first time to the plate tonight. Oh gosh, that pitch is going to be a strike all night, isn't it? They couldn't buy that pitch last night. Ooh, nice job laying off that. Avoid the high ones. If they want to throw that soft little freaking curveball, knuckle curve thing up there at the top of the zone, just let them. Wait for something different. Ooh. Turner, safe. He's safe. 2-2 I'll say that a weak grounder down the third base line for anybody, and he's in stride. That's a play you'll normally see them make. Muncy committed to coming off the bag. Excuse me, pretty darn early there, which really makes it difficult to come back with a player that can run a little bit. So Sandoval had the chance to try to keep the inning going with a runner on base. Every all major league teams wearing Nike uniforms for the first time this season. You see the swoosh there on the upper right part of the jersey. It's different. You're not used to seeing a logo so prominent on that part of the jersey, that's for sure. And the shift. All right. They did not give Wilmer Flores a hit. They haven't yet. So, oh well. Still says official scorer ruling is pending. I don't know why I can't say that. So 2 in the books, 2.5 in the books. Giants get their first run of the game. At least they're scoring runs. I mean, how many times over the years, even when the Giants were winning World Series, did we see Giants Dodgers 1-0 games at the end of 9? How many times did we see that? The Giants just unable to get anything done offensively for a long time. The Giants offense has not been a juggernaut offense for a long, long time. And so it has there are bits and pieces here that are exciting to watch. I talked about Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski is a guy that I will come to watch every single day. And as is Alex Dickerson. I think Dickerson is an exciting hitter. Boy, can he hit the heck out of the ball. So a couple of lefties there that are worth watching. We'll see how they do against left-handed pitching. That is, Yastrzemski showed that he can hit left-handed pitching last season. Dickerson didn't get the opportunity to do much. Of course, it's Bruce Bochy as the manager. Doesn't give those guys a whole lot of opportunities. It's very finicky like that. We'll see. And this offense is definitely built for the platoon. That is for sure. And when you're early in a shortened season like this and you have 30-man rosters, you're going to see a lot of matchups, a lot of lefty versus righty type of things. And the Dodgers, you look at the way they've built their lineup. They're putting left-hander, right-hander, or left-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander. Oh, it's Barry Bonds' birthday. Fantastic. Barry Bonds, if you look back here, we got all these great cards. I don't think you can see them. There you go. The whole top row here, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds. So that's sort of a fun little backdrop item for the day. I've had this since I was a kid. There's one really, really random card on all of this. The bottom 2 rows, all Will Clark, because we're Giants fans. Will Clark. This is also Will Clark from the U.S. Olympic team. You can't see him. I'll hold him up a little closer. I know it's a little out of focus. But 2 of JT Snow, first baseman. I was a first baseman. So there you go. A bunch of first basemen. Bobby Bonds over here on the right-hand side. And then John Johnstone. I don't know why I've got a John Johnstone card in there. I think at the time I had to fill it out, and it's the only other card of a Giant I knew. It's actually John Johnstone in a Florida Marlins, not Miami Marlins, Florida Marlins uniform, the original Florida Marlins uniform. I don't have JT Snow in a Giants uniform either. I got him here in the Yankees and the Angels. Oh well. Will Clark, I think, is all Giants except for these 3 right here are Texas Rangers. One when he played with the Rangers, I would go to the Giants and Rangers games anytime they played him in interleague, specifically to see Will Clark, and he was like injured every time. He was not playing. But that's how a lot of his career went towards the end. And this is U.S. 1984 U.S. United States baseball team, baseball, where he played on that team with Mark McGwire and several others. But some old school Giants. All right. Gaussman coming in and just making Kike Hernandez look a little silly. All right. Let's. How prophetic was that? Prophetic. Talking about how Seager loves the first pitch, and the first pitch he lines a double off the bottom of the wall. Skype just does not want to do its thing here. I don't understand what that's all about. Chris Taylor. So 262 hitter last season, 366 at bats. It's pretty solid. Reminiscent of what Joe Panic used to do, kind of. Definitely not their best hitter. But he can do damage also. His best season, 2017, was a 288 hitter, 850 OPS, 21 home runs that season, 72 RBIs. Giants would kill to have a guy like that. They got a couple of 21 home run hitters on the lineup now. And those were Mike Yastrzemski, I couldn't remember who the other one was. Who was it? Oh, well. This is one of the more normal defenses you'll see right here. I guess you can put Peterson on or Taylor on here, but then you got Peterson that you're going to be facing, and Will Smith after that. Try to get a double play ball, I guess. Not close, and they walk him. 4 walks. So yeah, 4 walks so far tonight. Last night they walked 5 Dodgers. The Giants did not take a single walk. Hopefully that's not a theme that continues. They through 3 innings have not drawn a single walk yet tonight either. But gosh, that's something that through the years the Giants have had some trouble with, especially the last few years, is walking guys. And that will just kill. That'll kill your arms, your pitching arms, kills your defense, And I mean, you're putting runners on for free. So, but in this case, they've got to be going for the double play ball. That first that first pitch kind of gives that away, putting that in a throwing it in a spot where the only thing you can do with that pitch is ground it to third to the yeah, pretty much right here. Peterson, a left-handed hitter, grounding it to third is all you got, pretty much. Called it a splitter. That's low fastball, trying to get the ground ball. Yeah, the home run derby last season was pretty electric in the All-Star game. Woo! Barely got a piece of that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a little up and a little away, but mostly right down the middle. Couple straight four-seamers. Another one. Low and away that time. Good location for 96 miles an hour. Wow. See what he does with this next pitch. It's very interesting. They're on MLB Game Day. They're showing in miles per hour. They're showing a single decimal place also. So that last one was 95.6 miles per hour according to the MLB Game Day gun. And they're obviously there's nope Dubond. We got Dubond. Saw last night Dubon making up quite the blunder in the infield. I thought he had a play at second, but at least they got the guy at first. I mean, that was it could have been worse. All right, so can Gaussman keep this? Woo. Flores, nice throw. All right, give it to him. Produced the ground ball when the Giants needed it. That was a nice heck of a pitch, that splitter, low splitter. Puts a 0 on the board. First 0 of the night. All right, so we're sticking with the theme that we've seen recently. We're going to have a different pitcher pretty much every inning, I think. And early in the season, I don't blame them. You don't want to run guys long, especially your bullpen guys. Get them tired from the very beginning in a sprint season like this. So whether they're in it at the end in the contention for one of the bajillion playoff spots that there are this season now, or not, there's going to be 8 teams in each league now are going to be in the playoffs. So whether you're one of those or not, you got to have pitching at the end of the season. You can't just have no arms left. All right, looking forward to the bottom of the fourth, the top of the fourth, sorry, we have leading off Dickerson, followed by McCarthy and Dubon. I like me some Dickerson, but McCarthy, Dubon, then Crawford. Yeesh. 3 guys who have not looked super impressive so far in the game and a half now of the season, or in the inter-squad games, or in the 2 exhibitions against the A's. But we'll see how they do. I mean, these guys, they can heat up eventually, right? Dubon was hot with the bat several times last season in the full season, and Crawford, we definitely know can get hot also. But those days seem to be getting fewer and far between as he gets older. Right, Alex Dickerson. It stinks that he keeps coming up with one guy with nobody on base. He's leading off the inning. You want to see him as the fourth hitter, the cleanup hitter. You want to see him in his position to do some damage, but you you put Sandoval in the lineup ahead of him. Sandoval is not a third hit. Is not a third place hitter in the major leagues anymore. On this roster, he is, I guess, but ugh. And that's unfortunately where the Giants are. I mean, you got three of the Giants' best hitters, well, historically best hitters, mainstays in their lineups are not on the roster right now. For ooh, okay, obviously Posey takes the season off for family health reasons, which totally understand. Longoria and Belt both on the injured list to start the season. Longoria's oblique problem. I mean, that's a long that we've seen guys with oblique issues. Hunter Pence, I think, had a bunch of oblique issues over the years. They're nagging injuries. They don't always. It's not like a once and done type of thing. They can take a long time to heal too. They can be very serious. Hopefully, that's not what it is with Longoria. Ooh, okay. So they really did a good job taking Dickerson's legs away from him. And that at bat. Oh, here's the mask PSA. Soft away. Change up, knuckle curves, low and away. The only pitch he really chased both of those pitches, the second and fourth pitch in that at bat. All right. Joe McCarthy. Let's see it, man. Let's get your first hit. Give him something to hit here. Off speed stuff. Change up. That was the one to hit right there. 93 miles an hour. Right over the plate. Above the knee. That's false, by the way. It doesn't matter how you wear your glasses with these masks. Your glasses are going to fog up. Because your nose just makes this little bridge where there's plenty of space for air to come out, warm air. And it's going to fog your glasses up. Yep. Wow. They set him up for that. I'll say this. He hasn't really been able to strike a whole lot of guys out with that tonight. He's got 5 strikeouts, but I haven't seen the high heat like that really be the strikeout pitch. First pitch swinging at some janky curveball, and that's the 4th inning. Well, as I feared, Dickerson, McCarthy, Dubon yields absolutely nothing. And it's back to the bullpen for the Giants. Let's see who's going to come out next. I didn't get a look at if anyone was warming up there at all, so it'll be a bit of a mystery to us. Coming up on 11 p.m. here on the East Coast. This game's moving by pretty quick through the top of the 4th. I guess it could be a little faster. Earlier, first couple innings, Dodgers had a lot of, well, the first 3 times up, the Dodgers have had a lot of traffic on the bases, so that'll slow things down. So let's take a look at what we got on tap for tomorrow. The Giants, this 4-game series against the Dodgers, such a tough way to start the season. But let's see who the probables are, if we even really do that anymore these days, and the way the game's played. Yeah, so tomorrow, Giants have not announced a starter. It's going to be Urias for the Julio Urias for the Dodgers. And let's see, are they saying? I mean, at some point we've got to see Samardzija pitch, right? No announced pitcher for Sunday's game either. What is that one saying? Sorry, it'll be Wood tomorrow for the Dodgers, and Urias on Sunday night. Day game baseball tomorrow, 1 p.m., 1:10 p.m. a start on the West Coast. Oh, Gosman's going to continue. He gets to face the top of the Dodgers order, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, and Justin Turner. So I guess Tyler Anderson was the opener tonight, pretty much, because Gausman is a starter. They're probably going to try to get some length out of him. It's so strange watching from the behind the pitcher cameras that they have, and it's the standard camera that you're used to seeing in baseball. It's so strange watching in the shifty way that teams play defense now. All the shifts that they put on. A few years ago, that grounder he hit would have been an obvious grounder right to the shortstop. Easy grounder for the shortstop, but you just never know where the defense is playing behind that camera anymore. You don't get to, they don't show you all, they're not always showing you where the defense is shifted to. So you just don't know. A ball to the right of the pitcher hit like that, a chopper, you don't know who's on that side of the field. So you kind of left until you see the behind home plate camera to get an idea of what's going to happen. So whereas in person, you would already know where the defense was. So bit of a drawback watching from television. Woo! That was a heck of a pitch. Wrapped right around the inside of the strike zone. Same pitch, a little more inside that time. So after he watched one, now he's definitely not looking for that. Backing it up. It's been 4 four-seam fastballs in a row. Let's see what he gets here. Nice changeup. The splitter. Woo! Golfed that one out. Muncy now 2 for 2 with a walk. On base 3 times. That was a very Pablo Sandoval-esque swing right there. Pablo at his prime, just slapping at it, digging it out. Back into the stretch. Another stress inning. Got runners on the pond. This one in scoring position with 1 out. And now you got Turner and Bellinger. Runner in scoring position every inning. Woo-hoo-hoo. Smoked. First pitch, smoking. Game Day had that right on the inside corner. It looked like it maybe wasn't that quite that inside on the television side, but Bellinger. There we go. Bellinger now 0 for 2, walked once. It was 1 for 4 yesterday with a walk as well. So I don't mind seeing him be 1 for 6 to start the season. Don't mind that at all. And oh, come on now. Come on. All right. Muncy and Turner. Those are the guys that are probably the hotter hitters so far for the Dodgers to start the season. They're both after those doubles, they're both hitting 500. All right, so due up for the Giants. Crawford, Davis, Brantley. See what kind of at-bats we get from Crawford and Brantley this time. Hopefully Jalen Davis gives us another good at-bat. Jalen Davis, 1 bat so far this season, 1 home run. We'll take it. .42 official at-bats last season. Jalen Davis, 7 hits, hit $167. It's 1 out of 6, pretty much. Exactly. 1 homer, 3 RBIs. Has as many homers now as he's ever had before. So we got a little bit of a look at the end of last season. 17 games with the Giants. First AB of the season, a jack. These Giants lefties, man. They've always had some good lefties, but nice to see some guys with some pop now. You know, got Yastrzemski, Dickerson, Jalen Davis. Great lefties. Yeah, lefties of the future, we're hoping. Yeah, I think Wilmer Flores, yeah, it's woo! All right. So you going to go for two? No. We'll take it. Lead off single is a lead off single. I got to think Stripling's just about done here. It's coming up 63 pitches now. I don't know if they're going to let him get through a whole inning with ducks on the pond, stress inning, this early in the season. All right, here's more intriguing at bats to watch. This is the stuff we're here for this year. Yeah, this does not have the same amount behind it to the short warning track in right field. Got a juicy pitch to hit, though, and went with it. Not afraid to swing on the first pitch. I like it. But an unproductive out. These catchers are going to have to show us something this year. We need them. A lot of controversy over Joey Bart not getting put on the lineup in the roster to start the season. I got to say, with how this season's probably going to wind up for the Giants, we're probably going to look back at the end and hopefully be grateful that he was not put on at the beginning of the season. Would have been great to see him. Would have been one more thing to watch, you know. And we're talking about it's like, what are those interesting at bats? And it certainly would have been interesting at bats every single time. And that's what you want. But man, there's so many question marks coming down the line with the CBA being up after next season, not knowing what free agency or anything's going to look like coming out of the new negotiations, how many years of club control the teams are going to have. You just can't risk starting the clock on a guy like Bart now in a short 60-game season where the Giants basically nobody's given them great chances to get to the playoffs. Even with 8 teams in each league going to the playoffs, they are not being given very good chances. 2 teams at the very least will come out of the National League West to go to the playoffs. And could be as many as 4. I doubt that, but it's just not worth starting the clock on a guy like Bart. And it stinks because how much, you got to really wonder how much development is a guy like Bart going to get on a season where there is no minor leagues. Like, he's in essentially the equivalent of a minor league scenario right now. He's in Sacramento doing some sort of program with other players, I guess, but they're not playing games. It's not a minor league system. So he's not getting any sort of reps that are game reps, that are stats on a sheet that count towards something. And that's the bummer about this year, not just for Bart, but all the prospects, all the guys the Giants are hoping develop into something. All the minor leaguers. Oh, that was a nasty. Oh yeah, you're gonna call him out. You're calling him out. You're calling him out, right? Dwayne Kuiper showing the frustration. I think with the umpire there, because we didn't get a definitive call if that was an out or not. But I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. Pardon me. Okay. So it's got to be frustrating for an announcer to really not have a shot at knowing exactly what happened. And think about it. You're in the booth of they're in San Francisco right now, a few hundred miles away. All they've got to go by in terms of announcing a game is what they see on TV, what they see on their monitors. So if you don't see an umpire make a call, you're kind of left hanging there. So I understand that. So the Giants again got a runner on, but nothing out of it. Crawford with the leadoff single was not able to advance and actually was part of a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down essentially in the 5th. So they've got 1 run on 3 hits so far through 5. Stripling is probably done for the night, but heck of a start for Stripling. And we're probably going to get another inning of Gaussman now, I would imagine. Stripling, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run earned on the Jalen Davis homer, his second major league home run, first of the year. 6 strikeouts, no walks. And man, if the Giants can get some pitches that can put up lines like that, some pitchers that can put up lines like that, they are going to be set for the future. But they don't really have anybody that you can trust to do that right now. Cueto last night pitched amazing. What's up, Peter? I'm happy with how Cueto pitched. Coming back from Tommy John surgery especially. So, here we are, bottom 5. Hoping we can see another strong inning out of Gaussman. I mean, they've had runners on base every single inning so far. The Dodgers have. So let's put not just a 0 up this time, but I mean, they've scored a single run in 3 out of the 4 innings so far. Let's go for 1, 2, 3. Let's get a 1, 2, 3 inning. 3 up, 3 down. So if you're just joining us, this is the Chris and Nick Sports Channel. We're just starting this up. Oh, of course, kickball, of course. Well, there goes your 1, 2, 3 inning, unless we can get a double play. But my buddy Nick and I are supposed to be here. We're going to be doing a lot of Giants talk to start with. Baseball is here. We've been feel really fortunate that there is a season so far this year. We were talking about starting this up for a couple months, and but going back and forth, man, we're gonna have to start just some talk shows where we just talk about the team and the off-season stuff, because there might not be a season this year, and luckily there actually are games, so it makes things a little bit more interesting. It gives us a little more organic content to talk about, and not just have to dig real deep to produce. Oh, geez. Oh. Oh, my. Anybody that collides with Pablo Sandoval is going to be a little shaken up, I think. He is a big boy. Woo. Doink. Oh, my goodness. It's like he got clotheslined on a throw that was not even close. Oh my gosh. Evan Longoria, man, come back soon, because I don't know how much more of Wilmer Flores at third base I can take on a nightly basis. Oh yeah, yeah. Sandoval's not going to get the worst end of that. You might want to check his hamate bones though, because those are made of glass apparently. Actually, I don't think he has hamate bones anymore. I think he has had them removed in both hands. What was I saying? Was I saying something? Oh yeah. So we're here. We're planning on doing hopefully at least one of these games a week as our schedules dictate. Obviously, the baseball schedule is not going to be the same every week. Our home and family and work schedule is not going to be the same every week. But we're going to try to get one live game every week done with two of us, not just myself the whole time. I'm sorry, you guys, for the first night or just getting me. All right. Yeah, it definitely is a break. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to try to also get like a talk showish type of show in between, perhaps. Or we're just talking. Maybe it's not probably be all live, but not necessarily during an actual game. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. But we're trying to really bring a product to the fans. Where we're here, we're talking baseball. We want to get people interactive with the chat and everything like that, asking questions, making comments. We're going to be making comments. We're going to hope it's going to be way more interesting when it's not just me, because we'll be riffing back and forth and everything. But no, we understand that there's a whole lot of Giants fans out there who, at least for the foreseeable future, will not have an opportunity to go to a Giants game and experience being in the stands with a bunch of other Giants fans around them. So hopefully this is going to be the place where you can go to do that. And while we all sort of sit from home, work, wherever it is that you're watching or listening from, and experience the game, experience the fan community of the Giants, because that's the fun part, you know. And so you can't go to the games. You're probably social distancing a bunch. Probably you can't go out to the sports bar to watch the games and be around other Giants fans, even in that capacity, too much. It's harder to do. And I know my favorite place to watch Giants games in the Bay Area, the South Bay, where I'm from. Go to Jake's Pizza. Go to Jake's Pizza, the Garrett, places like that, and ton of Bay Area sports fans in those places. Giants, Warriors, Sharks, very popular. 49ers. But those opportunities are a lot harder to come by with the current state of things in the world right now. So Gaussman has definitely showed that he can get the ground ball. Let's hope he. Oh. Wow, that's uncanny. You listen to Kruk and Kuip long enough, for decades, I guess, like we have now, and you can you kind of get synced into their kind of wavelength of thought, you know, the kind of, and you know what they're going to say before they say it. I'm talking about. He's definitely shown he can get a ground ball. Right after that, Kuiper comes up and says he's trying to get the ground ball. Uh-oh. Nice snag by Yastrzemski, but it's not going to prevent the run from scoring. Well, it keeps he ripped that ball. It keeps the inning from getting any uglier. 4-1. This game is quickly tilting in the direction of the game last night. They're trickling runs across, one an inning so far, except for the lone zero they've put up, which was in the third. One run in the other the first, second, fourth, and fifth innings so far. This inning, of course, isn't done yet. There's 2 outs. Let's see how this goes. Mookie Betts Man, if you can get through a series without him hitting a home run, get mostly offers like they've been doing, I'll be pretty happy. He's 0 for 3 so far. One thing Gossman has not really shown much affinity for so far is the strikeout. He's 2 2/3, only one strikeout so far. Want to see from these pitchers, we got to get some guys with strikeout stuff. And Cueto struck out, 5 last night? No, 3, sorry. The Giants overall did 6. So 3 strikeouts and 4 innings for a guy that just came back from Tommy John. Not horrible. Gone. Oh, what? How is he not out? That was a heck of a pitch, but great throw. Maybe a little bit behind, but man, that's one of those, you just catch the ball and you've tagged him already. He's out. Out by a mile. Gosh, these umpires. All right, we get a replay. More baseball where absolutely nothing is happening on the field. That's what you want. So I got to think with the way they've expanded replay, and now you can, I mean, every season it's like you can replay more and more things in the game, that the more that happens, the more play stoppages there's going to be. And you're going to have to do things like make rules so that relievers can have to, a minimum batter number, which it's like you're really screwing up the game, making up these kind of artificial scenarios that are not organic to the game. And also you can shave some seconds off. I get it. The replay stops the game, slows the game down more than almost anything. Like, eventually they've got to get to some sort of system where almost every play is every ball put in play has to be reviewed. They've got to get to, it's got to be started before like as soon as that play is over, someone should be reviewing it. This whole process should be going much faster. The whole process of, okay, well, the umpires have got to walk over, get the headsets on, wait for the call to wherever the war room is. That process takes too long. And this is 2020, for crying out loud. I got fiber internet here. I can get this stuff instantly. Of course, there's delays, but yeah. Everybody knew that guy was out. It took too long. It took way too long for them to figure that out. But they got the right call in the end. So we're happy. It's all right. 1 run given up. I mean, heck, in normal circumstances with a decent offense, which the Giants are not tonight, not yet anyway, trickling a couple runs, a single run here and there should be something that they're able to survive. But last night they showed that they could not take advantage of the opportunities they had. Bases loaded, nobody out. They scored 1 run on a sacrifice fly. That's all they got out of that. So they can't string hits together. And so it means you just don't have enough dependable hitters. And it's not surprising because your Longorias, your Belts, your Posies are not playing baseball for the Giants right now. A couple of them will eventually, we hope, or maybe don't hope so much. I don't know. Depends on your opinion on those players, which we'll get into another time, I'm sure. But as I mentioned earlier, there's got to be silver linings. There's things that you got to want to watch in order to make this interesting and make this worthwhile. And there are definitely guys I want to watch. I want to watch Mike Yastrzemski. I want to watch Dickerson go up there, and I want to see if these guys are legit or not. If these guys are the future, if these are guys that we can count on and are going to have some staying power for the Giants. It would be really, really nice to have some outfielders who you can count on being there for a few years, because the Giants haven't had a whole lot of that in the past. I don't want to watch Brandon Crawford. I just I feel like we're in the twilight of a career with him, and that's not interesting to me anymore. But Jalen Davis, I'll watch him. I'll watch him bat. You know, see how that goes. Wilmer Flores tattooing a ball to third. What's going on? What happened? What is this broadcast? What just happened? The announcers don't know. Because, again, they're in San Francisco. They see what we see. What just happened? What just happened? He hit the ball and then what? I don't know. We don't even get a replay? Oh, gosh, this is going to be a rough season. It's going to be what? It's going to be really rough watching these road games. They're going to have to figure this out. It's a work in progress. It's this broadcast crew's first road game of the regular season. They had the one against the A's. That was a mess. Broadcast-wise, that was an absolute mess. All right, so Flores got a hit? Are we saying that was a hit? Singles on a sharp ground ball to shortstop Corey Seager, deflected by third baseman Justin Turner. Okay, so that's the best version that I've got of what happened right there. Is from MLB Game Day. A little sentence. Sharp ground. I mean, it looked like he hit that ball hard. Quick 0-2 to Pablo and double play ball. You know he's not going to beat it out. There it is. Okay. Why is Sandoval hitting third? I mean, someone's got to hit third, I guess, but Sandoval. What is this lineup? Whew. Okay. The 2020 Tokyo Olympics, everybody. Not a whole lot of 2020 Olympicing going on right now. So we're still going to call it the 2020 Olympics in 2021, I guess. Sure, why not? It's just funny. All right, Dickerson. Get Stripling on the ropes here. That's right. All right, 2-0. Wait for your pitch here. Way ahead in the count. Good hitters count here. Oh! Ooh. Now, if you guys are watching on TV, you don't see the same thing I'm seeing. If you're looking at the MLB Game Day, it has, of the 9 zones in the strike zone for Dickerson, the high strike zone down the middle is a cold zone. That's the only zone he has. There's no hot zones anywhere else. It's got that as a cold zone. He just took strike 3. He was not looking for that. Well, another 3 up, 3 down inning that started with a single, I guess. But so we get another hit, but have nothing to show for it. The 5th 0 put up by the Giants so far out of 6 innings. So 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error by the Dodgers so far, which was the other time that Wilmer Flores got on base, I think. Or did they make it? Did they rule it a single? I can't tell. They got him at 2 for 3. Has he been on base every single time? Is that good for him? I mean, gosh. There's a whole lot of things I haven't been incredibly impressed with in Wilmer Flores, if I'm being honest. But On base 3 times, I guess. Is that what we're saying? Are we really saying that? Let's take a look here. Bottom of the first. All plays. Here we go. First inning, Wilmer Flores. Singles on a sharp line drive to left fielder Chris Taylor. Okay. I remember that. Third inning, Wilmer Flores reaches on a throwing error. Okay, so he's been on base 3 times. And I think Kruk and Kuip were suggesting that the error should be changed to a base hit because that was a really tough play for Justin Turner and darn near made it. But what did they give Taylor last inning when he collided with Pablo Sandoval violently at first base? What did they give him? Chris Taylor singles on a soft grounder ball to third baseman Wilmer Flores. So a tough play for the third baseman where there's a massive where there's a throwing error that pulls the, of course it wasn't caught. It wasn't caught like the one that Taylor's throw to Muncy was earlier in the game, but that's a hit for the Dodgers, but it's an error for the Giants. Okay. So we talked about the hitters that are going to be interesting to watch for the Giants. I don't want to see Duggar. I don't need to see him anymore. I'm done with Duggar. I like the outfield they're playing right now. Hunter Pence, if you want to throw him in there, we'll see. If he has a season like last season, I won't mind. I love Hunter Pence. He did some great things for the Giants. If he has another season like last season, I will love watching him again. But I'm gonna wait and see on him right now. Definitely on a wait and see. Gausman in for his 4th inning of work. Is that right? Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4th inning. Oh, just a little wide. Like I said last inning, we're looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Starting 3-1 to Mookie Betts is not a good way to get a 3-up, 3-down inning. All right. Full count now. These are the games we're going to have to play with ourselves. In these games, we're going to have to say, all right, let's just go for a 1-2-3 inning. Let's try to get 3 guys out. It's the top of the Dodgers order. You got dangerous guys behind Mookie Betts. That's got to be an out. All right. From 3-1 to a line drive out to center, we'll take that. That was a very fat pitch to hit. Mookie Betts 0 for 4. What do we think about this opener stuff, guys? Tyler Anderson. Is Tyler Anderson the guy you want as an opener? Like, does that make sense? I mean, I don't know. Saw how it worked. Max Muncy. Ball right down strike right down Broadway, I should say. Ball pitched right down Broadway to open up the at-bat. Muncy is 2 for 2 with a home run and a walk. 1 of 4 walks the Giants have yielded so far tonight, whereas they've struck out just 1. Dodgers and the Astros, 10 out of the first 20 games. Sweet. I wasn't sure if I wanted to say this tonight. I was probably going to say it when Nick was here, but and 2 home runs now for Muncy. You can't keep throwing balls right down the middle of the plate. Come on, Gausman. 3 for 3 with a double and 2 solo home runs. So another non-zero on the board in the 6th inning. Another non-1-2-3 inning. That was a no-doubter. So now, see, now you're in the spot where you just gave up a home run, and now you got to face Justin Turner and Cody Bellinger. Awesome. I mean, it's the Dodgers lineup. You can't avoid that stuff. Oh, now we're gonna mix in some off speeds. Yeah, no more just grooving fastballs, right? You threw three four-seam fastballs right down the middle of the plate to Max Muncy. Now that pitch is a strike, I guess. That curveball to Turner was what? He didn't like it. But that pitch has not been a strike several other times so far in this game. Woo. See, if you can make that pitch, why are you throwing 3 fastballs in a row to Max Muncy? It's not like he's swinging and missing at him. Called strike, a foul, and I don't know, guys. That's a heck of a place to throw a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Right down at the bottom, right down at the knees. I like it. But it's groovable. It's an effective pitch because of the fact that he threw a splitter and a splitter right before it. There you go. That was a well-pitched at bat. Split finger, split finger, split finger. I didn't think that third pitch was a split finger. I think that was a four-seamer, but whatever. MLB Game Day people are not interested in hearing. I might be behind on a pitch or something here. I don't know what the heck's going on with this thing. It's freezing up on me. Cody Bellinger hitting 1 for 6 so far this season. Let's keep that rolling. If we can keep Betts and Bellinger at bay, whew. Yeah, that's a great place to throw a split finger. Low and away on that corner. Beautiful. All right, so the Max Muncy at bat, I don't know what he was doing. I was right. The second foul was a four-seamer. Then he went back to splitter again. The Justin Turner at bat, that was a very well pitched at bat. The pitch selection was great. Kept him off balance. Max Muncy, what are you doing? What are you doing? 3 fastballs right down the middle. Can I show this? Let's see if I can. All right, this is going to be a first here, guys. Hang on a sec. I'm going to try to figure out how I can get this so you can see what I'm seeing. Video. Okay. Here we go. All right, so you see what I'm looking at. This is a different at bat. This is what? This is Bellinger's at bat. This is Max Muncy's at bat right here. Look where these 3 pitches were. Right down the middle. Right down the middle. Close to right down the middle. And that's the one he hit for the home run right there. And every single one of them, four-seam fastball, four-seam fastball, four-seam fastball, and they all got slower. That is not a well-pitched at bat. I can't imagine they had a scouting report on Max Muncy that if you throw a bunch of fastballs right down the middle, he won't hurt you. I can't imagine that was the case. So anyway, that's a first here on the show. Going to the different source for showing you the game day view. All right, now where am I? There we go. No, of course it's not going to fall. You kidding me? Giants haven't done anything to earn the little bloopers falling in. What have I done? Something has happened to my game day. All right, now it's fixed. Mauricio Dubon. Are you looking forward to watching his at bats this season? Guy had some clutch at bats last year. It was fun to watch for a little while. Did McCarthy get a hit? Nope. He did not. He's 0 for 3. Oh for 3 today. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. At least he hasn't struck out. So Dubon and Crawford. This is starting to sound very familiar. What are they trying to set him up for? So he's going to strike out on another one of them fastballs. Oh, yeah, what they're talking about right now, just going 0 for a bunch to start the season. That's kind of Connor Joe-ish, isn't it? I touched briefly on the fact that the Giants have now started 13 different left fielders each of the last 13 years on opening day. Oh, you got a hold of that one. Come on now. Oh, warning track power. All right. You drove that one. Some solid contact that time at least. It doesn't show up on the score sheet though, right? Or as they say, it doesn't show up in the box score. Crawford lined one off the center fielder in his last time up, off the feet of center fielder. Who the heck is the center fielder? Bellinger tonight. There we go. Does it make you feel like confident in a batter if he just smashes a ball foul? Is that a good thing? I mean, solid contact, right? I mean, but it's not in play, so I don't know. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Okay. It stinks when I'm seeing MLB Game Day update the pitches before the actual pitch on MLB TV comes through. Not picking up the change. I would love to get a camera angle that showed me where the ball went. That pitch was like 6 inches off the plate. Of course, he swings at that in the dugout. I'd love to hear from anybody that actually got a cutout of themselves at the Oracle, paid for that at Oracle Park. I, they were talking about at the Dodger games last night, I think, on the ESPN broadcast. They said it's like $250 to get like one of those lower bowl right behind home plate cutouts, and like 150 other. I mean, they charge you based on how good your seats are to get your cutout. And some weak ground ball in the hole at second. Inning over. Stripling has gone 7 innings. First start of the year, he's gone 7 innings. 4 hits, 1 run earned. Thank you to Giants' lone run on a Jalen Davis homer. 7 strikeouts, no walks. It's going to be a long season, guys. Long season. So I guess we're talking about who you're looking forward to seeing and how bad the Giants lineup is. When and if Brandon Belt and Longoria come back and are in the lineup, does that change anything? I mean, it definitely makes the 3 and 4 spots in the lineup like look a little more legit than Sandoval and Dickerson. Like maybe you get Longoria, Belt, Dickerson, and Sandoval like way down the lineup if he's even in the game. I guess if he's in the game with Belt and Longoria in the lineup, he's probably the DH. I mean, I would imagine they're not using him as like an emergency catcher anymore, Sandoval that is. But oh man. That means Flores is not in the lineup either, which is fine by me. Who you got at second? Probably DeBonner or you know who actually had a pretty darn good season last year was Donovan Solano. Last year he was pretty good, so if we get the same Solano, I'll watch him play some second base. Giants have been strapped at second base for a long time also. I mean, they had Joe Panic for a little bit who was legit, and he was not so legit for a while also. Hernandez was the man of the night yesterday. 1 for 4 with a strikeout tonight now. And yet another, the 7th consecutive inning where we're not going to be 3 up, 3 down. That's kind of a cool view of what's going on at Oracle Park. It looks like there's actual fans there. That's a lot of freaking cardboard cutouts. I like it. That's more than the Dodgers got. I think they were complimentary though for all of the season ticket holders for the Giants. I don't think the Dodgers are doing that. Oh, a double play opportunity, blunder, like just. Of course he gets the third base. Double player opportunity and come on. Pablo Sandoval. Going to be a long season, guys. Long season. So between Sandoval and Flores, we've got these corners of the infield just nailed down. Dubon and his theatrics last night. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. I half expected Kike Hernandez to go sliding into home after he bobbled that ball at home. All right, Sam Coonrod on pitching. Yeah, Coonrod got a look last year. I remember that. Coonrod pitched last night. He did. Let's see what. Do we have his game here? Yeah. So last night he was 1 inning pitched, 1 hit given up, no runs. We don't have any pitchers who can apparently get clean innings here other than Johnny Cueto. All right, Sandoval makes the play that time. That ball was drilled. Woo, snow coned. I don't know if you can tell looking at some of these cutouts that they have in the stands, but you see a lot of repeats. Someone's putting themselves in a few times. Who the heck is paying multiple times to get a cardboard cutout of themselves put in an empty stadium? Like why would how desperate are you to hand your money over to these baseball teams? Some filth. Throwing some filth at him here. Peterson's almost been hit twice in this at bat, but not throwing anything straight at him. I guess the first pitch was technically a fastball. 98 miles an hour. Coonrod can throw some heat, that's for sure. It's the other pitches that are really going to have to be better for him. Wow. You can throw 98 just below the strike zone like that. There's got to be potential there. It's just the off-speed pitches, man. The rest of the pitches have to complement that. Yeah, that's garbage. All right, now we're walking guys again. It's the 5th walk of the night for the Giants. So 5 walks tonight after walking 5 last night. That's the formula we got so far. Let's see how well we can do walking 5 guys a night. One thing I don't like about the rules this year is the DH. I don't like the universal DH. It is going to make these 30-man rosters just boring as heck to watch because there's no reason to put anybody else in the game. Like, why? Like, are you going to get another scenario like yesterday where we are in the 7th inning, like Crawford gets yanked because you don't want to watch him hit again? I guess. But like, why are you taking guys out? Oh, Jesus. Mauricio Dubon, everybody. How do you let that ball get by you? You can't let that ball get by you. If it's in the dirt, you've got to stop it. You're not going to make the play at home. You just... And now the runner's on third. Neither did Dubon. You gotta give Dubon credit for muffing that one. Like, that's a playable throw. That's what you're taught as a catcher to do. If you're not gonna If you're going to make a bad throw, make it in the dirt. Put it in the ground. Not the outcome we were looking for there. Another run given up. Trickling runs in every inning but the third so far. 6-1. Another walk. The 6th walk of the night. You know Bruce Bochy wouldn't be happy about that. I can't imagine anybody's happy about 6 walks. Let's see. I haven't looked at any of the news lately on. Let's take a look at the. That's interesting. None of the walks have scored yet. Certainly moves other runners up, though. God, that fastball. That thing is dancing. 98 miles, and it's not straight. Pickoff plays, yeah. Because our throws to first and around the diamond in general have been so on. Let's just start throwing pickoffs. Giants have been outscored 13-2 in the first 15 innings of the season. Thank you, Kerry Crowley. These beat writers, man. All right, so the game we're playing right now is let's try to get another. Let's try to get an offer for Mookie Betts. He's 0 for 4. He's due. That's for darn sure. Anything on the Giants injured? Woo. I got. If you're Betts, eventually, I mean, you haven't really done anything to electrify the crowd too much at the plate yet in 2 games. You got to probably start pressing a little bit and making swings like that. Ugh. Still trying to look in these headlines to see if there's anything on the injuries. Injury updates. That's what we need. That's a base hit. And Mookie Betts is now 1 for 5 with an RBI single. So the first non-1 or 0 that's put up in an inning. So they scored 2 in the 7th inning, and now we're at 1 run an inning. 7 runs scored. 1 run away from equaling last night's total of 8. The Giants, of course, have already equaled last night's total of 1. Calper says, thank you, Sam Coonrod. Thought he was actually pitching all right until he walked the dude. All right, do we have any injury updates? Wow, Justin Turner was 15 for 31 lifetime against Tyler Anderson. Well, I can't find any sort of injury updates. So who knows what the story is with Belt and Longoria. All right, so we're still in the bottom of the 7th. Giants have 6 more outs to try to score some runs. In 2 games so far, they have not shown that they can put together much of a rally. Or even when they do, they can't do much about it. I still go back to last night. It's game 1 of 60. I know yet last night, but bases loaded, nobody out. You get 1 run out of it. Which, I mean, plenty of us can come up with scenarios where they've gotten 0 runs in the past. So I guess it's good that they got 1. All right. From Giants.com, sfgiants.com, we'll see what the injury report is. Error loading news. Please try again later. They don't want to tell us. All right. Wandy Peralta. This is first look of this regular season. And he gets the pitch against Max Muncy, who's 3 for 3 with 2 homers and a double. Scored 3 times. Been on base 4. Only needs to get 1 out here. So in this scenario, it's like we talked about it before, that the reason that they've got the batter limit minimum is to try to limit the mound visits and obviously keep the pace of play up. But this is a scenario where you got 2 outs, a reliever coming in, you kind of got a left-handed specialist in there right now. Woo! How does he hold off on that? That's a good pitch. Made a great pitch, 1 and 2. Now you've got to make another one, but it can't be such a waste pitch here. There you go. That's good. All right. Sandoval able to field the ball that time. He's not happy about the one that he missed. 2 spot on the board that inning. It's going to be a long year, Giants fans. I'll say this. For the most part, we're keeping them in the yard. The Dodgers season opener last year, 8 home runs. Tonight they had 2. Last night they had 1. So 3 homers so far in 2 games. Looking for the silver linings, guys. The silver linings. They're going to be microscopic sometimes, but we got to find them. So we've basically seen that there's not many guys that can actually get outs, get clean innings so far from the Giants pitching staff. How did we do last night with that? That's really going to be harder to figure out. Let's see, plays. There we go. So I want to see all plays. All right, first inning last night, 3 up, 3 down. Fly out, strikeout, fly out. Second inning last night, Turner hit by a pitch, double play, single, ground out. Not a clean inning, but pretty clean overall. Third inning, strikeout, double, ground out. Not a clean inning. Fourth inning was not great for Cueto. Fifth inning was not great. Sixth inning was just a single, but otherwise 3 outs. Seventh inning, the freaking wheels came off. Eighth inning, 5 batters. And then they didn't pitch the ninth. So, not a lot of clean innings being put together by this pitching staff so far through 2 games. And now we get into... the Dodgers got some relievers, man. In a 7-1 ball game, you're not going to see the Baez's and the Kenley Jansen's of the world, but they still got some pitchers. So Jalen Davis just swung and missed at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate. Yeah, I think we're going to see that breaking ball here. So far, my 2 guys, Yastrzemski and Dickerson, are both 0 for 3. Four Giants hits, 2 from Wilmer Flores, who it's nice to see him getting some hits, but his fielding has leaving some to be desired. Let's just say that much. All right, connected with that fastball. He had another opposite field ball this last at bat, I think, that was not hit as hard, but it's nice. A little power to the opposite field is not a bad thing. All right, full count. Get the lefty in there. So I have a feeling we're not going to see... We'll probably see Yastrzemski, but I don't know if we'll see Dickerson hit again if it's against a lefty. That'll be interesting to see. Probably be Hunter Pence. Very, 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 very high fly ball to center. Candy corn. PeacockTV.com. Where did that come from? Like all of a sudden, the last week or so, I start hearing all this stuff about Peacock TV. I'm not familiar with what that is or where it came from. Does it have anything to do with NBC? Anybody know? Because NBC's logo is a peacock, right? It's not as literal as that one was, but that was a strike? Okay. But I don't know. I think it's reasonable to think there may be a connection there. How was that a strike? It's like 3 inches off the outside. Whatever. Destroyed bat. Weak grounder. All right, so Heineman, a little more impressive at the plate last night, but I don't know. One game for both of these guys is, I'm not comfortable making mass judgments about these guys after one game. 2 games, maybe. That was another fastball right down the middle, and it shattered his bat. All right, Yaz. Not been a great night so far. You're due, buddy. Just missed that fastball right down the middle. 95. Mets Braves 1-0. Wow. The Shark. Jake McGee. Last season, through 45 games, he was 0-2 with a 4.35 ERA. This guy's been around since 2010. Played with Colorado the last 4 seasons. Oh. Yeah, you probably don't want to swing at that, but that's a strike. Good take. We'll take the walk. Got to get guys on base, man. Top of the 8th with 2 out though. Still don't have that injury report loading up. Error loading news. Please try again. Come on. All right, so Flores has been on base 3 times. Quick 0-2. A couple of decently hit foul balls. Hammered right at Turner. Inning over. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Probably the last inning the Giants will be pitching in. See who they come out with. Maybe it might be Peralta again. Only pitched to 1 batter. Got a quick out when Coonrod could not. They're saying only 6 of the 7 are earned because, yeah, that one was on that horrendous throw by Wilmer Flores. Dubon also credited with an error, missed catch. I would definitely say that, yeah, that throw from Brantley to second base, that that Dubon just let through. Yeah. That should probably be stopped. All right, so the Giants are going to be pitching to, let's see, the Dodgers have coming up. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like it's going to be Seager, Taylor, and Peterson. Just realized it looks like the audio and the video are not synced here very well. Oh, so the next two games are not. Oh, great. 3 out of the first 4 games are not on NBC Sports. Peralta. Oh, Sandoval. Hamate bone. He's busted his hamate bone up. Oh, the hamate bones. The Pablo Sandoval hamate bones. So what are we calling that? Is that getting called a error? He's not a first baseman, that's why. Turner gets lifted for a pinch runner because what do you need Turner in the game for at this point? Ah. Now nobody can catch the ball. I was way off. Not Seager, Taylor, Peterson. It's Turner, Bellinger, Hernandez. Why is my game day still stuck in the top of the 8th? Still stuck in the top of the 8th. Internet's working. All right, let's get 2 here. Come on. Nope, not in time. That's a tough one to turn. All right, so they got Monday off. And then they play, what is that? 16 in a row starting next Tuesday. That has been a strike most of the night. No way we get 2 out of. Oh, gosh. I'm still in the top of the eighth here. What's going on? This game day thing is just. It's just not. It's just not updating. Oh well, we can watch. We're still watching the game. That's good. So that was the 13th hit, if they're calling it a hit. I don't know. I mean, the Giants last night only gave up 12 hits. Tonight we're at 13. Don't know if we should call that an improvement or not. Sigurd, Taylor, Peterson, the next three batters. Oh, not a strike, but that was still a good pitch. From 3-0 to 3-2. Every time these guys come out of the bullpen, man, we need something from them, you know? We've got to see them perform. Lost him. So that is now the 7th walk of the night. Seven walks. Last night, 5 walks. So that stat's not moving in the right direction. 5 walks to 7 walks. So you know what I'm looking at here with my MLB game day. It has been stuck on this for a while. This is not moving. You know, I hit the refresh and this is what I get. That's what I get. Yeah, traffic, I'll say. There it is. I don't think they're taking Peralta out. I don't know why you would at this point. It's just got to get these outs. I mean, they got to. All right, so they're starting to bring all their subs in. And some guys some at bats. So we haven't seen Tony Watson yet. The Giants got a ton of pitchers that we haven't seen pitch yet. So some Watson's the closer. I don't know what point in the season we actually see him get to close a game. Giants are gonna have to try to score more than one run before that happens. All right. We like strikeouts. Are these stats up to date? No, they're not either. I don't know what's wrong with stats, but the stats aren't updating. Whew. That one gets away. We just walked a run for the second night in a row. There it is. Make 4 hitters, walk 7 guys. You're not going to win any games like that. ERAs of the Giants bullpen are just massive at this point. Mookie Betts. All right, another out. Got to keep that guy in the park and away from really slanted box scores. 9-1. I don't know what is going on with these apps, man. It's just not updating right. On MLB.com, they don't even have the right score for the game. It's 7-1 still there. Something going on. Yeah, it's locked up on the top of the eighth. All right, so 3 more outs for the Giants to try to get something going. That would be nice to see something going. Probably see some pinch hitters. I have no idea who's coming up at this point. Is it Sandoval, Dickerson, and McCarthy? Oh, Stremski, Flores, Sandoval. Right, something just moved. Just got some sort of score update here. Oh, now it's the top of the eighth with 2 out instead of what it was before. Ever so slightly. Okay, Yastrzemski's. No, that still shows the top of the eighth. I don't know. Dylan Floro. Not familiar with this guy. 50 games he pitched last year. Ha- wow. That's a strike. Oh, for 4. Yeah. Gonna go down pretty silently here in the ninth, it looks like. Looks pretty loose. That first pitch to Sandoval. All right, Dickerson, come on, give us something to talk about. Something to smile about here. Base hit would be nice. A little too tight, right? How's that ball been the pitch has been a strike twice this inning. All right, now game day is to the bottom of the eighth now. Not quite updated. 2 outs to go. Yeah, can't call that a strike. Can we? Can we? Can we? Don't think so. Oh, did not look good swinging at that one. So we did see Dickerson was against a righty, so of course we did. Now we get to see Joe McCarthy again, guys. I don't see how that pitch is a strike. It's the third time this inning a pitch that far off the plate's been called a strike. I don't recall it being a strike much earlier. God, this game feels like it's taken forever. So coming up on 3 hours, a few minutes. Foul tip, down to our last strike. Strike to your app. All right, so Giants start this season 0-2. Many more to come, I believe. Well said there, Crook. 7 walks, 4 errors. There it is. Updating the records. 0-2, 2-0. So that's the first, our first game of the season in the bag. Giants game 2 in the bag. And what are we excited about so far? Let's see. Wilmer Flores got 2, possibly 3 base hits tonight. Jalen Davis' home run. He hit that pretty well. It was a pretty impressive home run. But again, for the second night in a row, it's the only run that the Giants have to show for themselves. Only 4 hits tonight, 4 errors in the field committed. And I think Kruka kind of said it best. You're not going to win a lot of baseball games like that. They walked 7 batters. 7 batters walked. It's just a ton. 2 strikeouts, I think. Is it just 2 strikeouts? 7 walks, 2 strikeouts. Is that real? I think Peralta struck somebody out, didn't he? Yeah, he struck out Barnes there at the end. So 3 strikeouts. We'll call it 7 walks, 3 strikeouts. It's just not a 13 hits given up, 12 hits yesterday. It's going to be a rough one. So 14 hits tonight? I can't tell. This stinking scores are not updating. All right, so thank you so much for sticking with us through the technical errors. Most people are probably not really aware of what they were. Nick had internet issues back at home. We've got Skype issues too, so even if he didn't have internet issues, I might not be able to get him on here anyway. We'll work on some ways to fix that and some plan Bs, I guess. This was plan B, really. You got just me tonight. So next game that we end up doing, hopefully we'll get Nick in the fold. I don't know if it's going to be a live game or if it's going to be just a talk show format for the next one, but we'll get the information out. And thank you so much. Please come watch us again. Check out our channel, like our channel, follow our channel, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, and enjoy the rest of your evening. 2 more Giants games against the Dodgers still coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and I think it's another 7 p.m. Pacific time game on Sunday Night Baseball another ESPN game. So both next two games are nationally televised on Fox and ESPN respectively. So look for those. And that's all. That's all we got for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.